Hey loves, how's it going? Hope all is well. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with a new video, and today I want to talk about the Will Smith issue with the new role. So they're having a movie come out, and basically it's about Venus and Serena Williams' father, and Will Smith, I believe he's producing it, is behind his company, and a lot of people are up in arms about this issue. If you guys don't know, Venus and Serena Williams' father, his name was Richard, and Richard is like, I would say he's responsible for their success. He's responsible for their career. Like, he really pushed his girls into being the greatest and the best, and he is someone that honestly, I feel like he's someone that people could look up to as far as guidance and what he did to make sure his kids were able to succeed. He's kind of like what people will call the Matthew Knowles, but of sports. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was very, very, adamant on what they should do, how they should do it, and he coached his girls. Like, he really, really coached his girls.
As I mentioned, you grew up poor, very poor, in Louisiana. You faced extreme violence and racism.
Some things were so painful I wouldn't write about it. Some of it was very joyful. My mom taught me that whatever I expected from myself, that's what I could be. As you said, I picked cotton. At times, it didn't look like I was going to ever get out of a cotton field. It was so far. And what's interesting about that was that cotton made me who I am today.
So they're coming out with a movie about his life and the upbringing. And the reason why everyone is so upset and up in arms is because Will Smith, who is a lighter-skinned man, is someone that is set to play Richard Williams. Richard Williams is, he's darker skinned, and the resemblance is just not there. Like, they don't look like each other at all. And I really feel like if this is set to go through, hopefully Will Smith and hopefully like the casting directors honestly see the public's opinion regarding this movie, because me personally, this is not a movie that you could get wrong, especially when it comes to skin tone. Now, some stories and some things is kind of like The Hate U Give, if you read the books or if you looked at the original images of The Hate U Give and stuff like that, Amanda, who is a lighter skinned girl, biracial, whatever you want to call it, she was set to play the role, but the girl was actually darker than her. Just like as far as X-Men and Storm depicted in cartoons is darker than the Holly Berries or the other women that played her. So even though they were wrong and they should have been depicted the right way, you have a man and his two daughters that endured a lot of racism. But first, before I even go on to that, let's talk about the whole issue, and let's talk about the whole reason why, Hollywood is always getting it wrong, especially when it comes to casting, because they honestly rather fill out seats than actually get a real feel of the movie. So I got this from GQ magazine. So they said, why you should care about colorism in Hollywood. Will Smith is set to play Richard Williams, the father of tennis players Serena and Venus, Richard, in the upcoming biopic. But in society where colorism is arguably more pervasive, this kind of inappropriate casting is no longer good enough. And it was reported yesterday that Will Smith will be playing Serena and Venus Williams' father, Richard, in a film about his life. All hell broke loose on Twitter. Critics slammed the decision because of the fact that Will Smith's skin color is a great deal lighter than Williams. As much as the audience loved Will Smith, in 2019, they loved seeing Hollywood step up more to the plate when it comes to colorism. Of course, media representation has the potential to play a huge part in altering society's prejudices against different skin colors, which is why the miscasting of Will Smith in the role of Richard Williams has caused such a stir. Here was an opportunity for a dark-skinned actor, perhaps someone like Idris Elba. I even said Don Cheadle. Shoot, maybe even Morris Chestnut. The list goes on, especially when you have someone like Idris Elba and Don Cheadle. Hopefully I'm saying both of their names right. But both of them, they're always in the box office. You have one in X-Men. Do you have interest in like everything. So it's like they can bring people to the seat. So anyway, if Hollywood won't cast dark-skinned actors appropriately, then it's up to film industries, black communities to make a change. This is what GQ said. Then they talk about basically, you know, some of the new things. Like, we just had one of the best Oscars, like Academy Awards, where so many black people were given awards and were giving like these great accolades, and then to see something with a black man and he's not even depicted of who he is, it's like, it's kind of like a slap in the face. Like, how did we get here? You know what I'm saying? And the reason why this is such a big deal to a lot of people is because if y'all don't know about Venus and Serena's past, like within sports and what they had to go through, especially her father too, going to games being called monkey, going to games being called like several racial slurs, apes. They already say Serena looks like a man. Like, they say all these things about these women and their father because of their skin. That's why skin is so important in this movie.
Do you feel that there is racism in the world of sports?
Yes, it does. Certainly does.
And how did that affect your daughters as they were coming up?
Well, they had been trained for that, Venus and Serena, a few years ago before it was when it was juniors. I asked some kids to come up in the bus, and I had them to call them all kind of names and play music so I could prepare them for them. I don't want them to perpetuate their thoughts that this world is good and sports is going to be this way. No, sports is going to always be prejudice. And it's a subject that we don't talk about, afraid to linger on. But I think the more we could talk about it and have open discussion like your program here, we could solve that problem.
Not only who he is, but the skin is very, very important. Like, it really is. He's a dark-skinned man with Afro texture hair. Like, he really, they have to get it right. Like, it's some things that you be like, but this, you have to get it right. Like, you have to get this right. You can't do something like this. Like, colorism has always been an issue in our society, and it's always been a thing. And it's interesting. One thing I did think is interesting, when black women yell and scream about colorism like we have in the past, when it came to like Wreck-It Like Ralph, when they had the princess light skin and she's really dark skin, like all the women were coming up in the, you know, we were saying, oh, this is not right, this is not right. And Disney actually changed the young lady's color. You know, the fact that it affects black men, now more black men is stepping up like, whoa, this is not right, this is not right. Me, in my heart of hearts, I do think Will Smith probably will sit this out, and I think he'll probably change his mind. If he is smart enough, I do think he's trying to get that, I think he's trying to get that Globe, yo. I think he's trying to get that Oscar, like, I really do, but this is not the way. This is really not the way. This seems like some Nina Simone and that Zoe type thing. Like, you don't want to do it like that. Like, honestly, somebody that I really respect is someone like Zendaya. You know, she always speaks out about, you know, the colorism in Hollywood and her always being depicted as the token black girl and stuff like that, when there's actually other girls that fit the roles.
Hollywood's, I guess you could say, acceptable version of a black girl, and that has to change. You know what I mean? Like, we're vastly too beautiful and too interesting for me to just be the only representation of that.
Yeah, it's just, it's really, you know, it's sad. It's really sad. And I just can't, if this is the direction that they're going in as far as picking Will Smith as the father, ain't no telling who is going to play the daughters. And I'm going to just say that. I don't know who is going to be Venus and Serena, because we know what they look like. So, yeah. They dropped the ball with that one. Y'all let me know how y'all feel down below. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Can we stay home tonight? Try something new tonight. Hey, this drink got me feeling right.